Hello everybody. I was wanting to talk about something that was on my mind today and probably on a lot of other people's minds as well, and that is, the shooting that happened out in Nashville the other day, and just how aggravating it is for people to immediately, they're trying to talk about how do we fix this problem, which I acknowledge is a horrible problem that people would, they, for whatever reason, focus on kids like that. When they want to kill a bunch of people, why they focus on the kids, I'm not certain, but why they focus on anybody, I'm not sure. Why they just don't kill themselves would be, the best solution. But it is aggravating to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, how quick others go to gun control as to fix the problem. And while it aggravates people, gun owners, and people that have, shot firearms their whole life so much as I have. I think I got my first gun when I was like 6 or 7. It's like a 22, and never had a desire to shoot somebody. But the reason it is so aggravating to gun owners, that they do not want to go just increase gun laws. I don't know why that is the first thing that people go to. I don't know if it's just because it's the easiest, but gun owners are not wanting to increase gun laws because that will prevent them from snuggling in their bed with their AR, or petting their 50 gun collections, or some silliness that anti-gun people think. They always go to these movie-like images, how the movies will portray gun owners as completely silly, and knowing that there are people out there like that. And at the same time, it drives me nuts when you hear if somebody has, say, 500 guns, that they're more dangerous than the person that has one gun, which is, it's like having you're gonna be fatter because you've got more spoons in your house. It's like you've got, the most guns I could shoot at once is 2, and I would be less effective with a gun in each hand than I would with one gun in my hand, able to aim at stuff. But that's another point. It's just another stupid, more guns equals more violence. It makes no logical sense. But they don't want to increase gun laws because a lot of people know that this would make a bad problem worse. Increasing gun laws is going to make the problem of mass shootings, here in school shootings, whatever, it's going to make that problem worse. And I was watching a valuetainment show on YouTube the other day, and that Patrick Bet-David was explaining how there's like case study after case study that the places where more people have the right to carry, the less violent they are. And he gave Idaho as an example. He was talking about how people are flocking to Idaho right now because it is the violent crime rate in Idaho is so low, when at the same time the right to carry is like 8% of Idaho's population has a right to carry. And then on top of that, I mean, I have personally talked to several people that has moved here from California, Chicago, you know, other, I guess you would say, liberal states, liberal cities, to where they I hear the same stories, because I like to ask them, you know, why did you move to Tennessee? And they tell me they are tired of the crime rate, they're tired of the crime, and they're tired of not being able to feel like they're not able to defend themselves against the criminals, because they don't have, they're so restricted on how they can protect themselves with a gun, yet the criminals, they're restricted too, but they're criminals, so they don't care about how tight the gun laws are. You know, it's better for them. And they say they feel like they have less rights than the criminal. Like they've been told that if somebody breaks in their house and they shoot them, they're going to spend some time in jail. And so they, you know, one guy told me, he says he's afraid to come out of his own house. He's felt like a prisoner in his own home because the crime was so bad. And another lady that moved from California, she said she felt like any day she was constantly scared to death to walk down the street by herself as a single female, that she felt like she was going to be shot or raped or beat up or something, and she had no way of protecting herself. She felt like, and there was nothing protecting her. So that is the main reason people do not want to increase gun laws. They know that this horrible problem, that will only increase this problem. It will do nothing. To stop a criminal. A law, I mean, the person that done this shooting, was a law-abiding citizen? And I feel like what I am saying has been said over and over and over by other people, but it just immediately goes straight to the gun, when the problem is the mental health of people is gone in this state and most other states. I mean, they never go to what kind of medication was they on, what kind of mental state was they in, what kind of you know, they never talk about how majority of these people are on antidepressants and how they're on or opiates. You know, even Jordan Peterson explained about homicide. He's like, if you are drunk, you're twice as likely to be a victim of a homicide. And then if you are drunk, you're twice as likely to commit a homicide. And even more likely to be that homicide to be committed by a family member. So nobody even talks about the drugs or any of the mental parts of why these people do this. Like, that is like the source of the problem. You know, I mean, you know, back when I was a little kid, back when my dad was a kid, the gun laws was way more lax than they are now, but there was way less people killing each other because people was not as loony as they are now. And I mean, to me, this should be logical to go after the root of the problem, not, you know, it's like if somebody's overweight, we don't go to their house and restrict the number of forks they can have. It's how ridiculous would that be? And I just think of, like, you know, when our soldiers went into Fallujah, you know, how dumb they must felt how they handled that. Like, when really all they had to do was just increase the gun laws in Fallujah, and ISIS would have been eliminated. Problem solved. That, I mean, really, if that's all they, you know, that's all they had to do. Or, so what would be a solution to the problem? I don't know there's 100% solution, but I don't know why nobody's talked about, on a, you know, putting like a perimeter fence around a school. You know, a perimeter fence with a Rolo gate. Allows one person through at a time. Click, one person, click. And any time it can be locked. If you're not supposed to go through it, you're not supposed to go through it. They put Jersey bouncers around the perimeter. A 10-foot fence with Constantine wire on the top. Jersey bouncers around the bottom to keep some idiot from just driving his car through the thing. I mean, this is not, people can say, well, this is going to be like a prison. Well, what's the, you know, the gated communities have this similar thing. Just treat it like a gated community. I mean, how many the places have this kind of system set up? A guard at the entrance, you know, that opens a gate. If a vehicle comes through, somebody's approved to come through, they can come through. You're not allowed to come through. You know, the 911 station here in Rockwood is a perfect example of how I would set up a school, other than, you know, a row of Jersey bouncers around the bottom just to keep somebody from plowing through the fence, some kind of barrier to keep a car out. I mean, that's not going to stop things completely, but I feel like that would be a good measure. I mean, if schools become impenetrable, then, which would be a great thing, it's still not going to stop somebody from just walking in a Walmart on a Saturday and spraying bullets. And then again, you take the gun away, take guns completely out of the system. That's still not going to stop some idiot from walking in the Walmart with, you know, 30 sticks of dynamite wrapped around him and let it loose into a crowd of people. That's happens all the time in countries. It's not, I mean, look at the Oklahoma City bombing. What was 168 people died in that, and the dude got everything he needed from Home Depot. So I just say that it's like, it is so, I don't know, it's just like it just seems so basic way of thinking to immediately go to the gun. And if gun laws would fix the problem, help the problem, I would be all for it. As I feel like I would pass whatever test that you had to take to be allowed to buy a gun with flying colors. I would not be worried about not being able to buy a gun, but it will not. It will only cause this to increase. And then what's going to happen when school shootings are doubled because gun laws are so restrictive? Does it take that for people to just be like, well, that didn't work? Which they won't say that. It'll be deflected onto a politician's fault or somebody else's fault. It will not fall on that decision. No way. That's been proven over and over that the, what do you call them, useful idiots will continue, and that's a topic for another video, I keep thinking of how the useful idiots of society over the last 2-3 years have continually led us down a dark road and another dark road and another dark road, and it seems like the same people continually pushing these insane ideas, and it's at the same time it's at the detriment to all of us, even them and the ones that don't want the decisions that they are helping get pushed through society. So, and you would think after a period of time of them just like a period of failure after failure after failure of the things they want to happen, and then when it's allowed to happen, it's like the complete opposite of what should have been done. And then it's never, oh, well, we messed up. It's just on to the next topic. And I guess that's why they call them useful idiots. They're useful to get things done politically, and the idiot part is because they don't know any better. They're doing it thinking they're doing the right thing, but not intelligent enough to know that they're doing the wrong thing. Yet politicians that are getting these their agendas through, they're their greatest asset. But anyways, that's the way I feel about it. Nobody asked for that opinion, but at least anybody wonders or has anything to say about it in the future, I can say that's what I thought. Got it on video. Just like the many things I said about COVID when it started, and people argued with me about how wrong I was, and then I was like, well, I'm talking to a wall, and then it's came out exactly what I said is exactly the way it was. It was not because I'm a super genius, it's because it's just logically I feel like anybody ought to be able to spot this crap with the same ease that I spotted. And I do not understand why the vast majority cannot. They seem like they can easily figure out exactly what we need to not do, and then that's what they will shout about the loudest. So I've said enough and feel better because I did. But after all that, hope y'all have a nice day, and talk to you later.